All right, we're back with the light Pilum from Adrian Watson that he sent to us last time. It's the one that we mounted and actually got to test in the last video. And it performed very well going through the shield, especially in areas where it was just covered with the linen, the laminated linen and hard wood. What we've got set up here is we've got our test victim, so to speak, wearing a Lorica Hamata, some cloth, a little bit of extra padding around the shoulders. It has a piece of ballistic gelatin from the part area. It's going to be hard to check out, but if we can get one in there, which I can't guarantee that, in this area, we'll be able to test anywhere from like the navel up to the center of the sternum is ballistic gelatin, heavy ballistic gelatin. And then we've got our shield. I know it's setting awfully close to the target, but a lot of times during the Roman era, and even when people get lazy and tired at a distance, they'll hold the shields in close instead of holding them out like they should to protect themselves. So it's not an unrealistic distance from there that it could possibly be at different times during a fight, considering most shields were center boss at the time. So let's go ahead and test that out.
With the light Pilum.
With the light Pilum.
Oh!
I threw that a wee bit high. Well, it looks like we went clean through the Maille, and it stopped after it went through both layers of gambeson, not hitting the target. So this person would definitely be impeded by this Pila. This is actually stuck in the armor.
Ah!
We hit one of the toughest areas, and it went out the back side of the shield, and it is impaled in the shield, so it didn't go into our opponent. I was aiming a little bit higher, but I hit a little bit low. Because of the reinforcement from the rawhide, it didn't actually go through. But I'm having a hell of a time getting it out as usual. Oh, there we go. Oh!
Nice!
See what happened here?
I think I heard it hit on the other side.
It did. It stopped because it actually hit our Maille. It did not pierce the Maille, but it touched the Maille. It actually hit the chest of the other side. I might try throwing a really hard throw with stepping into it, which might not have been an option in a Roman shield wall, but we can try. I'll try throwing more force with it. I think the heavier ones are going to do better than this. But it did make it all the way to our Maille. It did not go through the Maille, but it stopped on the Maille and the padding.
That was pretty nasty.
I got a little high there. I was going to aim into the shield about this region, but that went clean through our Maille, our padding, and out the back side. Now mind you, this is budded Maille, and it's not totally historically accurate for the Lorica Hamata. We're not going to lie to you. But it's budded Maille with gambeson for the shoulders here, and we made it all the way through. This could be why they had the reinforced Maille on top. That would make perfect sense, especially since the Romans were used to using these type of javelins or Pila. Oh! Another good stick, completely through. But it doesn't look here, the light one has the advantages. We made it through before, but it's just not quite going through well enough. We'll probably go up and wait. Note, this is our lightest Pilum. It's sticking in the shield very well and piercing the shield. Very difficult to get out. But unless I started pounding on this, or it was made to purposely have only 2 rivets and 1 break, like in one of the texts, or somehow it was made differently, I don't think the object to these things was I don't think the object to these weapons was to bend. I think it was to pierce armor and pierce shields, to weight the shields down, damage the shields, maybe go through lighter shields and into lighter armor. I think that was the idea, because they talk about them killing horses, they talk about them killing men in armor, and they talk about them going through shields, and it was supposed to be one of the only Pila, or the only javelin or spear that could do so. All right, we're here with Adrian Watson's Pilum that he sent to us. This is the heaviest one he sent. And as you notice, the light one did not bend. This one is a lot heavier. It has a longer shaft. We have the actual spike on the back so that it can be stuck in the ground, or it might stick in the ground if somebody's rushing, although that won't be happening today. But to help balance it out, we also have it wire wrapped to keep it from splitting because it doesn't have a socket. But underneath we have the classical iron rivets that are riveted through, and there's 2 on this one instead of 3 like the other one, which is riveted in the classic big hand, I guess, protection or whatever you want to consider it on that area.
So it's got that pyramid shape.
This has got the pyramid shaped head, or the Botkin style, or whatever you want to consider it, kind of like a rondel type armor piercing point. And yes, these are described. We found these type of shaped heads. This one seems like it'd be the one that would be hard to get out of the shield if it goes through, and has a greater chance of possibly going through. We'll find out. We're going to go ahead and try it out. This is his heaviest Pilum that he sent us, but today it'll be one of the medium weight Pilums that we'll be testing.
Yeah, and that
will be tested.
And that one's going to be tested the same way against the shield and the Lorica Hamata, see if we can do better than we did with that lighter Pilum.
Oh, most certainly. This is also longer. This is up to specs of what most people would consider the right height, almost 7 foot.
Yeah. Yeah!
Oh, God!
Oh, no, don't, it went all the way through. No.
She's dead. Our Valkyrie, or our Roman centurion today, yes, into the ballistics gel. Okay, the stories and accounts we have historically, we love it when things come true and you get to see it firsthand. All I know is this is multiple layers of linen over hard wood. I mean, it's stopped all different kinds of arrows, and this Pilum, apparently it cannot stop. We've got it all the way through. If I can pull this out and show it and look behind it. And it's impaling our Valkyrie. I would like to see how deep we got it. It's out the back side, through the ballistic skeleton. It's coming out the back side. This is not riveted mail. I mean, that could have made a small difference. We will test some mail that is sealed shut and a little bit by itself. But this is through part of our ballistic skeleton as well. Or so it appears. It feels like it. Could be wrong, but it feels like it went clean through. I am extremely impressed. I wonder if there's any luck to even try to remove this.
I don't think that's coming out.
It's coming, but nastily. We got it, we got it. Now it doesn't want to come out of the shield. Oh.
Ah!
Oh. That was a beautiful one. We went all the way up. We buried up through the shield. Remember, this is a weaker part of the shield. We do have tougher parts of the shield here. But this time, our victim was lucky. It just went under the arm, missing the body. Very lucky.
Very nice shot, though.
Oh, most certainly. We're not noticing any bending. This is, oh, we got a little, it's our first bend. We have a little bit of bend to the Pilum. First bend I have seen.
It's not that bad.
Could be straightened out, but that would make it pretty useless in battle to try to straighten that in a hurry to use.
That's true.
So we are seeing some bending as described in text as well with this type of weapon.
That is awesome. That was a good throw.
And what I'm doing is lining it up. On the battlefield, you wouldn't have the precious luxury of lining up this square peg to the hull to pull it out so easily.
Not at all. You would
So
not have
it's
that
not
luxury.
ruined, but it went clean through our shield. Oh!
That might be it, huh?
We did. We finally got one into our ballistics gel. The other one earlier, we went right above the gel. So I was very excited thinking we went through the gel, all the way through a torso of gel and out the back. But we were mistaken. We did make it through two pieces of mail and our gambeson, and that was right above our gel because our gel's just inside of here. This is directly into the gel. So whatever we got here actually tells us how deep it would have went into a person if they were wearing the same rig.
see
I
it.
can mark it and pull it out, and we'll see how deep we actually get into the body. Oh gosh, I would say at least that's a kill. I can tell you after I pull it back through here exactly where we went through. You saw it on the view. If I can get it out, the trick is these are very difficult to get out. It was buried into about here, which means to me this went all the way through and stopped at the back shell of the mannequin. It had slowed down enough that the shell of the mannequin stopped it. So we almost got the same penetration we did where it went through the front and out the back, almost. All right, this is the Pilum that was donated to us to use by a good friend of ours, Wayland. He does Roman reenactment. He does late century Celtic mercenary reenactment as well for the late Roman Empire. So he likes to collect Pila or Pilums, and he sent us this one. It's a fine example. It doesn't have the butt spike on it. It was actually one he created because he's, I guess, an amateur blacksmith or a blacksmith. He makes all different kinds of weapons, and he tried to make this one with an actual weight of, I would say, in his mind, a medium or semi-heavy Pila. So we're going to test this out. This is not the heaviest Pilum that he sent to us today to test out, but it's one that he constructed, and he wanted to see what it would do. This has got the leaf shape, or the standard spear shape of the time period head. And as you noticed earlier, even with the very thin iron bar, we're not getting the bending.
Or very light bending anyway.
Very light bending, if any. So unless it's constructed, this is what we're coming up with, unless it was constructed with a pin to break away in this area, which I've heard most of them say these were so tightly joined to the wood that there's no way you'd bend it before you would break it. So unless it was done that way, or there's some other special imperfection, which I think would get in the way of piercing armor, I don't think they'd bend. And I honestly think that was the whole idea. I think these were designed to pierce shields and armor. From our testing, that's what we're discovering today. I mean, this is amazing. This stuff, arrows, I could use modern bows, hunting bows, and could not get through this. So let's go ahead and try this one out and see what happens.
Oh!
We hit high there. Apparently it went clean through the shield. But it wasn't that difficult to remove. We did slice completely through the shield, and the only bending we got was actually in the tip a little bit. Can be straightened out.
Nice!
And that was without me stepping. I just threw it. This one went clean into the shield, into the toughest section. If anybody wants to understand the shield, this area is double rawhide on both sides and 8 layers of linen that's been laminated. It's all been laminated on. So this is a very hard composite over the 1/4-inch planking.
That was great for a leaf-shaped blade. It did well.
Yeah. It's not one to come out. You'd have this stuck in your shield, and that would pretty much be it. If you were on the field, you wouldn't have time to get it out. And it didn't even make it all the way through. I have a feeling if we hit this section up here, it's going to go clean through. If we can hit it good in certain areas where it's closer to the center. But that went all the way into there. You can see where it went into. And like I said, the only bending we got is it's not a reinforced leaf shape. It's a flat leaf shape. The way it's made is in the actual point. But if it was reinforced, I doubt we'd even got that if it had an actual diamond shape to it.
Nice!
That's the best we've gotten with this one. That is a deep penetration. And I'm sorry, the Maille was already damaged. But due to this leaf shape and how broad it is, it's much harder to get through the shield. So it's pretty much impaled in the shield, but if you look at the back side here, we went all the way into the ballistic shell again. We only got a couple of inches into it, but the other flaw is we hit the same piece of Maille that we had damaged before. What kind of luck is that? But it actually went into our ballistic shell. On the back side, we actually poked into it. Not very deep, but I'd say an inch or so. I'd say about an inch. We actually made it about an inch into our ballistic shell. So the person would have been slightly injured if, I guess, their Maille was already damaged. That's a very odd circumstance to hit the same area twice. But it's something we risk when we keep testing the same materials over and over again and can't afford to replace them each individual test. But still, I think it's very impressive. It weighs as much as the other Pilum, I would say, or a hair more. But I'm thinking the difference in this is our shape. It's our leaf shape that's making a difference, other than the pyramidal or rondelle-shaped bodkin style point, the pyramid shape. This is really in there, though. I don't think you'd be getting this out anytime soon easily. All right, Wayland has sent us one last Pilum. Now, some people look at this immediately and go, that is ridiculous. The iron bar is so huge. The large leaf shape, which is reinforced, this is diamond shape, it's a huge Pilum. And there are sources that cite online, due to old text, they think they weighed almost 11 pounds. Well, I'm sorry, I don't think a Pilum could be 11 pounds and be used as a throwing weapon. If it was 11 pounds, it'd be on the verge of the heaviest cannonball in Japanese history, where you use it to pound armor or something, and why would you use it as a spear? This one does not weigh 11 pounds. This thing is more believable. We've got something here that weighs, you know, three something pounds, maybe almost 4. A couple kgs, I guess, or so. It's not that heavy, but it's extremely heavy. I would hate to have to use it with the slide stuff that could be done. You know, you could slide it out, but it'd be harder to do as heavy as it is. I'm actually kind of curious what it would do that way. But what I'd like to do with it is going to go ahead and throw it, see how well it throws. But it's not going to have a lot of range. It's a very heavy Pilum, but there are a lot of people out there that have that logic that the actual super heavy Pilums, or why they used them, is because they could put more energy behind them. They threw them in much closer, and that's why they were so devastating. So what we're going to do is try that on our same target today and see if it's more devastating and how it performs. We still have that large leaf-shaped design again, but it's heavily reinforced, so I doubt it's going to bend. And this big of iron bar here, I doubt it's going to bend, and it's got an actual metal socket, which some of the historical ones have that as well. So let's try it out. It is balanced in the proper spot for throwing or use. So let's go ahead and see what happens. There's about maybe 3.5 pounds or so, maybe 4 at the most. So I'm saying about 3.5. Feels like a good sword.
Oh!
That's a heavy Pilum.
God, the impact alone would have hurt. He didn't even have to penetrate.
It didn't go through the armor, but it definitely knocked the heck out of the target. No, you would not have the same range with this Pilum. This one, I would dare say, would work better if it was a heavy Pilum and they had stuff like this earlier century, like some people say they did. I would think it would be used for a spear more than a thrown weapon. But that is a devastating hole. I'm sure if we throw it at some armor later in a later video, we're testing against actual solid Maille, it'll be quite impressive to see what it does.
It's pretty impressive to see that hit anyway.
The Maille did stop it. You can see it touched the Maille because we have, since it's a softer metal, it's like it was based on the iron idea. We do have some damage to the point on this. I'm just happy Wayland actually sent this for us to use, because this is, like I said, it's an heirloom to him that's been passed down from one of his reenactment friends that he's known for years, and I mean, it's been around forever, so it's amazing he let us actually test it.
Oh!
That was me throwing with a little more force. Oh wow, you gotta see this. The big broad head, we made it completely through the shield, which I didn't think this would, into the Maille. And we hit the very bottom of the ballistic shell. But it didn't go into the ballistic shell, but it did damage the Maille. No, it went right below our ballistic shell. Sorry about that. We actually hit below it. There is an area where there's a spot below it. So basically what we've done is we've hit in the Maille, damaged the Maille, because remember, this is budded Maille. That takes a lot of force with this this gauge of metal, a 14 gauge at 3/8 inch rings, to damage it, but it actually opened it up. And I dare say if there was something behind it, it might have done more damage. This area, it's kind of a cutout where the gel's sitting in there. So it went in between a cutout. We might have seen more damage if it could have actually hit over something solid. Sorry, we only have such a small area to hit. That's what I've been aiming for. But that's all the way through.
That was epic.
So a heavy Pilum around 3 pounds will work. I mean, I would be scared if somebody threw something this much weight at me, even from like 15, 20 feet away. I would be in fear. This is ridiculous, and I guarantee you this would weight your shield down.
No doubt about it.
If anyone was using anything this size. But as for it bending, like I said, with this metal side, there is no way that this shaft, I don't see, you could, I don't even think you could pound that with a sword or an axe or something and bend it easily.
Ah!
Whoa! Again,
You can see it weighting the shield.
This tough a shield. I'm impressed.
Yeah, but you can see it weighing the shield down from the distance.
Oh, certainly. If you had your little spike on the back, when they try to rush forward, that'd be it. I don't think you'd get this out. There's no way. Picture myself behind this. Not only would the shield probably smash into you, this thing is in there. That would be it. So could they have used them up to maybe 3.5 to 4 pounds? Maybe. Possibly. Would you get a lot of range with them? No. Could you use them for a weapon? Most likely. They wouldn't bend. We'll come back and test that later. I want to do that. I want to actually test something this heavy, and some of the medium, or I guess they shouldn't be considered medium. They're actually heavy Pilums as well. They're considered heavy. The other ones we've got, and see how they work as a weapon, because there are some accounts of them actually using them. There's some with Marcus Antonius, Mark Antony, where they said in the Parthian campaign he used them as an actual spear, and there's also some in, I believe it was the Siege of Alesia. So I'd love to test that out, and I don't think this is coming out.
No, it ain't coming out of there.
I hope you enjoyed our episode. Today our main focus was, even though I know we used budded Maille, I thought it was a good thing because it could be lighter armor. I mean, we weren't trying to go for the full riveted solid roll, everything, and some of theirs was bronze, some of theirs was iron Maille. So this is steel budded, heavier gauge than they probably would have used. We have some heavy cloth behind it and a little bit of padding in areas, and our ballistic shell in the center. Matter of fact, I can just yank that out of there. See if we can see anything. And you can see some of the places we embedded into this. There's one of them right here, which goes all the way in.
That was from Adrian Watson's.
Oh yeah, that was Adrian. I just split it as it went in. And the one we thought we got, I'm going to be honest, it kind of
skimmed it.
Skimmed it at the top. We've got another one, I believe, where it came in from here, because the angle it came in, and it went into it. I can't tell how far. This one, I can tell you, it went in. That's the one we had from Adrian Watson. And you can see the kind of weird wound channel it opened. It's because of that shape. It split it as it went in, and it went all the way through. And stopped back here. You can see where we weren't lying to you.
Wow.
This was the container I used to. This was the container I put the gel in to put it in there, because remember we had to cut out our mannequin and set it in there. So that one we actually thought we got an impalement through the gel and out the back with his actually went across the top. This one went through, stopped by hitting the back of here and our shell of our.
I love it. You can see the dimple where it hit
the back of the plastic. Oh yeah, you can see the dimple. That was from his.
Awesome. And
it went through here.
And you know what, Thrand? You can technically say this is our first test with a gel torso.
Oh, technically, yeah. And like I said, we got our other one through here, so that's impressive too that it went into it.
We'll have to refine our gel torso construction techniques.
It looks like we got some damage here too. Like I said, that one skimmed and went up. The one we thought went through, I think it hit about here and skipped up on us. And this is extremely heavy gel. I'm using 20% ballistic shell in there, or a little tougher, because this was our recon stuff. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed our episode. Be sure and like the video, give us comments down below. Subscribe to the channel, Thrand YouTube channel. You can also go by Facebook, and we have the Thrand and Eldgrim's Well of Remembrance, and you can like us there. That's our like page. We share all our videos there first, so you see them, and we also share special exclusive content in the Thrand YouTube Boat Crew, which is a closed group on Facebook, and you can ask to join that as well. If you have trouble becoming a member of that, people are asking me how do you become a member, look up either Eldgrim on Facebook or Thrand. I'm Thrand Godfrey. You can look me up, and if you make friends with me, I'll put you right in. Just ask to join. Also, you can help us out on Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/Thrand. You can donate monthly to us there if you like. We release our videos there as well, and that'll help us out. If you just want to make a one-time donation, you can go ahead and do that through PayPal, and my PayPal ID is Thrand, Thegn, Thrand, just like the channel, at yahoo.com. You can also send us emails there if you would like to donate things. Like Wayland's local friend of ours, he's a good friend of ours for years, and he donated this locally. But our actual Adrian Watson is the one who actually crafted our Pilums and our Pila for us to test. They performed exceptionally well. So I appreciate that. So if you have something like that, let us know about it. Send us a message about it. Hope you all enjoyed the episode. We will be back testing the Pila against armor itself, and actual more historically accurate armor that's actually sealed rings with proper backing, and see how that works. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and farewell.